I don't think I've ever seen a player have like more points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks than turnovers. Who gets that much attention? So
Asia Wilson
mhm.
has her own gravitational pull this year. Career highs in points, in rebounds, in steals, in blocks. She may mess around and become the first player in WNBA history to win a pair of MVPs and Defensive Player of the Year awards in the same season. What, in your eyes, is separating her this season?
I mean, she's been super efficient this year. I think, you know, there's getting numbers and then there's crushing numbers. And she crushes numbers right now. And I just think her consistency, she's just consistent in every day, her approach, what she gives to her teammates, what she gives to the game. Um, I've been saying with as many double teams and triple teams that she sees, how we get her out in space and she puts the ball on the floor. Um, Her passing, the other day she had like 5 assists. Um, I don't think I've ever seen a player have like more points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks than turnovers. Who gets that much attention? So yep, yep. I mean, she's just takes care of the ball. Like I said, she gets more attention than anybody. Um, and she makes sure all her teammates feed and eat well when she's cooking too. So um she just comes back, she keeps working on her game and adding stuff to her game. Um, you know, every year I've asked, one year, first year, I want you to shoot more threes. Okay, she added that to her game. Next game, next year, I'm like, I want you to be more of a playmaker off the dribble, like bring the ball in transition and become almost point forward-ish. Um, she does that. So there's times where, she rebounds and I'm like yelling at our guards, go. Like she doesn't need your help bringing up the ball, and that's your center that can, you know, hi there, pass, dribble, do everything. But her hands are really, really incredible. Like her hands, she catches everything, everything. And to me, that's one of the most impressive parts about her game. But I mean, she's a 6'4" cat, jumps out the gym quick as all quick, with that size and skill set. I mean, she's just very, very difficult to stop.
So the point forward element, was that something you folded in for this 2024 season?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm always going to try to challenge her and to add stuff to her games. And I'll be darned if she just come back the next year and do it. It's not like, when you're that good, one, her approach that she's always still hungry. And I think that's something that's special and that's specially like wired. That's how she's made up. To come back and just keep leveling up when you're already at like the highest level and keep getting that, striving for those little improvements in your game. And she does that.
Finally, for me, you went 6-6 without Chelsea Gray in the lineup. Where do you think she's at as far as where she needs to go for you guys to three-peat?
Oh man. Our guard play, Asia's amazing. We all know that, but our guard play has to be a separation factor for us. Um, Last year, it's why we were so good. And my big three in the guards, they last year they all had, I would say, off the chart shooting numbers. I mean, all three of them were flirting with 40, 50, 90. This year it's just Asia that's even close to those numbers. So I'm trying to get them to understand how married their careers are and how their greatness is intertwined with each other. It's not coincidence that, you know, those three probably aren't shooting the ball where they want to shoot the ball. Last year, all three of them and it's because how they made each other great and how they sharpened each other. And so here, all three of them have, career years. And there's a reason why. And they really truly brought out greatness in each other. And this year we're still trying to find that moxie, and Chelsea's a big part of that. She's not even a year out from her injury. And so she's doing great. And I think every game she gets to be looking more like Chelsea Gray that we're used to. It's been a process. Uh, she's probably had to be she's had to be patient. You know, I've begged her to be patient. Um, and she has, and just getting her back out on the floor. I mean, she was pushing 2, 3 weeks before we even put her out there. She wanted to be out there. I'm like, no, no, no. I mean, nobody wants her out there more than me, and her teammates like, of course we want her out there, but we just really wanted to err on the side of safety and her being healthy. And, we just took precautions to ensure that, there's no setbacks or anything like that. Her health is the number one thing, even going into the Olympics. I'm like, when you're healthy, you'll be on the team. Just worry about your health. That's all you got to worry about.
Thanks, Coach.
Your starting five can be so dominant. Can you talk about the new additions that you've had and how effective the bench has been?
Well, Tiffany Hayes. God, I love her juice, her aggressiveness, her aggression. She gives us another gear. She's probably somebody who gets out and runs as hard as Kelsey Plum does. I mean, Kelsey Plum knows one gear, and that is fast. And Tip, her gears are fast and faster. And to have those two guards specifically be able to get downhill, like they can, definitely gives us another element. Along with she's really shot well. Defensively, she gets up and is an absolute pain in the butt. I don't know where we'd be actually this year without Tiffany Hayes. As good as those other four are, she's been that big of a piece for us. Then you throw in Meg, who, we've used in spots. We really got her to space the floor. And right now, she could have easily got the start today. We're kind of just going by matchups and what we feel we can exploit out of the other team. So, she could go from one game starting to the next game, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then back in the starting lineup. So it's really a nod to their professionalism, because that's not always easy. But their professionalism of always staying ready. Sydney Colson, always staying ready. Kate, that in itself is a skill set to be able to come in, not play. Okay, now I play 10 minutes and be productive. Very hard. So I give them a lot of kudos, and I'm glad you asked about the bench because they don't get the recognition sometimes I think they deserve. But Tiffany and man, she's been special, and AC's just all steady Eddie down there. But Kia even coming in now off the bench, that anchor just defensively, you can just put a lot of shooting around her, and defensively you don't lose too much. Asia brings so much on the defensive end. It's nice to be able to put another really great 5 defender on the floor with Kia.
She doesn't need touches.
Doesn't need touches. She's somebody who knows her job is to play defense, rebound, set great picks. And it also her job is to shoot it when she's open. And I get on her all the time because she passes up too many shots. But she's actually a very good shot. It looks good. Like when she shoots, I think it's going in. Because I've seen her in practice just hit shot after shot after shot. So sometimes I think it's rhythm, maybe confidence. So I always all my players, I want them to play with the utmost confidence.
All right, we do have one question from Zoom, Nikias. And 2 questions, Callie, Nikias, and Callie.
Hello, just a couple of quick ones. Because you mentioned Chelsea's not even a year away from her injury. I don't think Kia is either. How close do you think she is to where she was last year physically?
Kia?
Yes.
I think Kia looks good. She has looked good. Her injury was a little bit different than Chelsea's. Obviously both required some surgery, but Kia took a different route, took a different road of recovery and all that stuff. And I think she's back full go. She doesn't really complain of her injury very much that I know of. At least she doesn't complain to me. But we're gonna need all our pieces at the end of the day to pull off a little run here towards the end of the season. And we know how good and valuable she can be in certain spots. So she's doing great.
Got you. And then quickly, you mentioned that the team has been better on the road this year than at home. How important is securing a home court spot for you in terms of seeding? And does that take precedence over sprinkling in more rest days for some of your stars down the stretch?
I mean, the four that went to Paris, I mean, let's be real, they could all use some rest. um, you know, Jackie was probably a little dinged up more than the other ones. Asia's dinged up. I think KP is tired. Chelsea's still in the midst of, getting her groove back. But looking more and more like herself every day. So yeah, then the ones I really wish I could get some rest for, and I'll be looking at the schedule, is just probably Asia and KP. So we'll see. The schedule is difficult, but I picked the other day for Jackie because it gave her, like, instead of 2 days, it gave her more like 5 days to be off her legs. And I know Asia and KP could use the same probably at some point. So it's something I'm thinking about for sure.